Standard development of concentration, meditation guided by mindfulness. In many situations, say in formal study or while working, it is possible to develop concentration by applying the 4 factors leading to success, pada. Progress or accomplishment in such work or study is set as the goal of these 4 factors, irrespective of whether one applies the factor of protection, removal, development, or preservation. One generates an accompanying power of striving, patana sankara, which propels one towards this goal and supports the establishment of concentration. But in everyday life, in which we experience passing sense impressions and engage with things that are either impassive or existing independently on their own, it is nearly impossible to establish the 4 factors leading to success, or for these factors to operate. In such situations, the basic quality of the mind required to prepare for or induce the arising of concentration is mindfulness, sati. Because mindfulness draws and holds attention to sense impressions, those things a person engages with and those activities which must be performed, mindfulness is the mind's refuge. Once mindfulness has been established to a suitable degree, wholesome enthusiasm follows automatically. There are 2 main methods for developing concentration that rely primarily on mindfulness. 1. To train mindfulness for wisdom practice, to aim for the benefits ensuing from wisdom practice, to use mindfulness as the vanguard for wisdom, to coordinate mindfulness with wisdom. By having mindfulness, seize specific sense impressions and submit them to wisdom for contemplation and understanding. In this method of practice, concentration is not emphasized, but is automatically developed as a byproduct. Moreover, this concentration makes the application of wisdom more fruitful. This method comprises the main part of the practice of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, which was described earlier in the section on right mindfulness, and it can be referred to as an everyday or universal meditation. 2. To train mindfulness in order to generate pure concentration, to give an exclusive emphasis on deep concentration, to hold on to a sense object with mindfulness so that attention on that object is steady and undeviating, to fix attention on an object continuously. This method of practice gives direct emphasis to concentration. Although wisdom may sometimes be used, it is an accessory to the process. For example, one may simply know that which is being observed, but one does not intend to penetrate the truth of that object. This method is the essence of the systematic development of concentration discussed below. Systematic development of concentration. The systematic development of concentration here refers to meditation techniques that have been handed down in the Theravada Buddhist tradition, as recorded and explained in various commentarial texts, especially in the Visuddhimagga. These techniques are practiced by Dhamma practitioners with earnestness and devotion, by aiming exclusively at pure concentration within the confines of mundane levels of concentrative attainments. They are set down and classified as a gradual system of practice, beginning with preliminary preparations, followed by specific techniques of meditation, kamatana, progressive stages of training, and finally specific results of practice, including the concentrative attainments, jhana samapatti, and the mundane higher psychic attainments, lokya abhinya. This systematic development of concentration, presented in the commentaries, begins with pure or faultless moral conduct. From here, the main stages of this system can be outlined as follows. 1. To remove the 10 obstructions or causes for anxiety, Pali Bodha. 2. To seek out a virtuous friend, a teacher who possesses the suitable attributes for bestowing a meditation technique. 3. To take up one of the 40 meditation techniques suitable to one's disposition. 4a. To go and stay in a monastery, quiet dwelling, or place of practice suitable for meditation. B. To completely eliminate trifling worries and concerns. 5. The development of concentration, samadhi bhavana, to practice in accord with this meditation technique. When presenting the details of these 5 main stages, the commentators had monks in mind who make a serious, determined effort to practice meditation, perhaps for months or years. Lay people or those who only intend to practice for a short period should select those aspects relevant to their circumstances. 1. Eliminating the 10 impediments. The term Pali Bodha refers to mental attachments or impediments which cause anxiety and worry. This anxiety obstructs spiritual progress and makes it difficult for concentration to arise. Therefore, it should be dispelled. The scriptures mention 10 kinds of Pali Bodha. 1. Dwelling or monastery. Avasa. One has accumulated many personal belongings, or one has unfinished business, which are a cause for worry. If one is not overly attached to these things, there is no problem. 2. Family, kula. One's family of intimate relatives or one's family of supporters. If one is separated from these people, one is concerned about them. One should come to terms with such separation and dispel the worry. 3. Gain, acquisitions, labha. One is worried, for example, about one's many devoted and generous followers, and thus neglects to pursue one's Dhamma practice. In such a case, one should separate oneself from these people and seek solitude. 4. Group Jnana. One is, for example, responsible for a group of disciples. One is preoccupied by teaching them and dispelling their doubts. In this case, one should attend to any unfinished responsibilities or find someone to act as a replacement and go off on one's own. 5. Work, kama, especially building work, navakama. One should complete these projects oneself or appoint someone else to do so. 6. Travelling, adana, to travel long distances for business matters, say in order to ordain monks and novices. One should complete these affairs so as to be free from worry. 7. Relatives, nati, both blood relatives and relatives in the monastery, example one's preceptor, teachers and disciples. If these individuals are ill, one ought to nurse them and try to restore them to good health, so that one is relieved of worry. 8. Illness, bada. One is ill oneself, one should hasten to find a cure and regain good health. If the illness appears to be incurable, one should muster an inner strength by thinking, I am not willing to be a slave to this illness. I am determined to maintain my spiritual practice. 9 scriptures, Ganta, formal study, Pariyati, scholarly subjects. Such study is an obstacle for those who are anxious about securing knowledge. For example, through frequent recitation. If there is no anxiety, such study is not a problem. 10. Psychic powers, Edi, which are a burden for an awakened person to protect. They are an obstacle for someone who is developing insight, not for someone who is developing concentration, and for whom such powers have not yet manifested. 2. Seeking a virtuous friend. When one has removed these obstacles, and there are no lingering concerns in the mind, one should seek out a competent meditation teacher who is endowed with virtuous qualities and devoted to helping others. Such a person is called a virtuous friend, Kalyana Mitta. He or she possesses the 7 qualities of a virtuous friend. 1. Endearing. 2. Venerable. 3. Inspiring. 4. A skillful speaker. 5. A patient listener. 6. Able to describe profound subjects. 7. Does not lead others to useless ends. Ideally, this virtuous friend should be the Buddha. If this is not possible, then he or she should be an arahant, an awakened being of a subordinate level. Someone who has attained jhana, one who has memorized the Tipitaka, or someone who is of great learning, Bahu Sutta, respectively. The commentaries claim that occasionally an unawakened person of great learning is able to teach more effectively than an arahant who is not of great learning. This is because such arahants are only skilled at the way of practice that they themselves have passed through and can only describe their own unique path. Moreover, some arahants are not skilled at teaching. Those people of great learning have done much research and have questioned many teachers. They are able to offer a comprehensive view of practice, are familiar with alternative methods of practice, and can make suggestions suitable to different individuals. Of course, the optimum is to have an arahant of great learning. When one has found a virtuous friend, one should approach him or her, perform the appropriate duties in relation to this person, and then ask for the opportunity to learn meditation. 3. Receiving a meditation technique suitable to one's disposition. To begin with, let us take a look at the meanings of the Pali terms Kamatana, meditation technique, and Charya, disposition. Kamatana literally means foundation for mental activity, or that which facilitates mental activity. Technically, it means something used as an object for developing meditation, means of training the mind, or method for inducing concentration. Simply speaking, it is a focus for the mind, i.e. a focus for mindfulness, sati. When the mind has such a focus, it is seriously engaged but also tranquil. It does not run off out of control. It is not distracted or disturbed. The term kamatana refers to an object of attention, inducing concentration, or to anything that is the focus of the mind and helps to establish one-pointedness in the quickest and most suitable way. The commentaries describe 40 kinds of meditation techniques. Kasina meditations. meditation objects inducing concentration. This is a way of using external objects for unifying the mind. There are 10 such objects. 4 great elements: Bhutta, Kasina, earth, Patavi, water, Apo, fire, Tejo, and air, Vayu. 4 colors: Vana, Kasina, green, Nila, yellow, Pita, red, Lohita, and white, Udatta. Meditation on light, Alaloka, and meditation on space, Akasa, Parichinnakasa. With these 10 meditation objects, it is possible to use either objects found naturally in nature or objects designed specifically for such an exercise. The latter is more common. B. 10 meditations on foulness, Asubha, to contemplate a corpse in 10 stages of decay, beginning with a bloated corpse and ending with a bare skeleton. C. 10 recollections, Anusati, virtuous objects of attention, which should be frequently called to mind. Recollection of the Buddha and the Buddha's virtues, Buddha Nusati. Recollection of the Dhamma and the Dhamma's virtues, Dhamma Nusati. Recollection of the Sangha and the Sangha's virtues, Sangha Nusati. Recollection of virtuous conduct, Sila Nusati, to reflect on one's own pure moral conduct. Recollection of generosity, Kaga Nusati, to reflect on the gifts one has donated and to recognize one's own virtuous qualities of generosity and renunciation. Recollection of divinity, Deva Nusati, to reflect on divine beings, Devata, which one has encountered or about which one has heard, and to discern one's own inherent virtues, which lead to a celestial rebirth. Recollection on death, Marana Sati, to reflect on one's own inescapable morality. Such reflection gives rise to heedfulness. Recollection of the body, Kaya Gata Sati, mindfulness of the body, to reflect on the body and to see that it is comprised of various organs, notably the 32 parts, which are unclean, unattractive, and loathsome. This recollection leads to a knowledge of the true nature of the body and prevents infatuation with it. Mindfulness of the in and out breath, mindfulness of the in and out breathing, Anapanasati. Recollection on peace, Upasamanusati, recollection on Nibbana, to reflect on the attributes of Nibbana as a state free from agitation, defilement and suffering. The 4 unbounded states of mind, Appamana, the qualities to be radiated outwards towards all beings without exception in an unlimited, immeasurable way. Most often these states are known as the 4 divine abidings, Brahma Vihara, excellent abidings, pure abidings, qualities of a person with an expansive, noble mind. Loving kindness, metta, well-wishing, friendliness, the desire for all beings to experience happiness, compassion, karuna, the desire to help others be free from suffering, sympathetic joy, mudita, a matching joy and delight when another person is well and happy, prosperous and successful, equanimity, upekkha, to make one's mind steady, calm and unbiased, like a set of scales, to discern how all people receive good and bad results, according to relevant causes and conditions, not to be prejudiced by likes and dislikes. Perception of the loathsomeness of food, hare patikula sanya. Analysis of the four elements, katu, dhatu, wa vatana, to discern one's own body as consisting solely of the four main elements, earth, water, fire, and air. Four absorptions of the formless sphere, arupa, to take one of the formless states as one's object of meditation. This meditation is only possible for someone who practices one of the first 9 kasina meditations and who has achieved the 4th jhana. To focus on infinite space, kasananchayatana, which is achieved by withdrawing attention from the kasina object. To focus on infinite consciousness, vinyananchayatana, to stop paying attention to space and instead to pay attention to consciousness which pervades space. To focus on the sphere of nothingness, kinchananyatana, by setting aside consciousness as the object of attention. To enter the state of neither perception nor non-perception, neva sanya na sanya yatana, by ceasing to focus even on the sphere of nothingness.